Hey guys, so I want to talk to you guys really quickly about some stuff that's going on with YouTube right now. And I've talked about YouTube before, and I really wasn't thinking too much about making a video with this whole thing until I started seeing more and more comments pop up on my really old YouTube video that I made that was like when I had just the one camera sitting on the couch talking to you guys. And that was back when really YouTube was just doing some weird stuff with subscription feeds and not alerting people, which they still kind of had a hard time with, but it's gotten better. And now YouTube is in some serious trouble that is really concerning content creators' ability to produce videos for you guys. So if you're completely out of the loop, which I've posted stuff on Twitter as I go along, I like to post updates on different things, random stuff. So if you're not following me on Twitter, follow me on there at SpawnWave Media, like just random things. And I keep posting stuff about YouTube because I'm experiencing this on my side and like the back end where I see that revenue is really down right now, and that's mostly because a lot of YouTube's advertising clients have suspended their spending for ads. And this kind of goes back to YouTube not policing this well enough, and it's really hard for them to because there's so many videos coming in. So at this point, ads that have Walmart, Starbucks, Pepsi, Coke, all of these companies have now left. They've just stopped putting ads on YouTube, and this has created a weird imbalance where there are still the same amount of videos going out, but there are less ads to be put on those videos. So if you're just you just like coming here and watching YouTube, you're probably having a very ad-free experience recently where a lot of videos don't have ads on them, and that's just because there's not enough to go around. So most of the time, a video will just play without an ad. And a lot of you guys might be thinking that that's great. There's no more ads really, right? There's not a lot anyway. And I think it's like 1 out of 5 will play an ad now, but you may be thinking that's great. And to some extent, that does help the viewer experience, but it does hurt content creators everywhere. And it's really bad because YouTube does kind of work on this interesting balance between 3 different parties: the advertisers, the people making the videos, the content creators, and then you, the viewer. Those are the 3 parts of this weird balance that they need to keep. And at any given time, there's always one side that is not happy, whether it's the viewer because there are those weird, unskippable 30-second to 1-minute ads, or an advertiser who is getting their ads put on a video that does not agree with their brand's viewpoints. And that's kind of the issue we have right now. Most of the ads, not all of them, are put on correct channels, ones that the advertiser is fine with. But recently, there have been few that have been put on, let's just say, unsavory videos that are things like terrorism apparently, and other extremist videos, racism. There's a lot of videos that are very much centered around hate speech and things like that, that if you are an advertiser, you do not want your brand, which is essentially your baby, to be put on these videos. Because believe it or not, as much as people say they don't associate an ad with a product, subconsciously you do, and you may not realize it. Now, that's not to say everyone looks at it and goes, oh, Pepsi supports terrorism. No, that's not the case. But there are people out there who may think that, as much as you or I may not fall for that kind of thing. So the knee-jerk reaction by all these advertisers is to pull their videos, their video advertising down, where you do not have Walmart showing up several times on ads where they were filling up a good chunk. You don't have Starbucks showing up, Pepsi. There's so many places that just pulled ads now, and there's this massive imbalance because Google wasn't ready for it. YouTube was not ready for all of these to just go away, and now creators are looking at some pretty bad lines in their graphs every other day when the ad, basically, so every day you're like 2 days behind for your revenue. And right now, there's a little chart that's going down, and it's especially happening April 1st, which is when I assume any ads that were already paid for and set up to go out, like Sprite was still showing up despite Coca-Cola pulling out of the game. They were still playing, and now April 1st comes around, and it is revenue is down probably to 20 to 30% of what it was. And before you get mad because YouTubers make money on their videos, keep in mind, if you don't think YouTubers should be paid, I really need you to tell the US government that so I can stop paying taxes as well as other people, because we still have to file as independent contractors and we still have to pay quite a bit in taxes at the end of the year. So if you could let the government know that we shouldn't be making any money and they should just skip us, that would be really cool. So yes, so many people are freaking out. And then you have the media who is dead scared of YouTubers and their influence, pushing hard at this. And this has been a problem for a while, guys. Don't think it hasn't been. People have been upset, especially advertisers have been upset at times where videos are placed on certain videos. It just hasn't been made super apparent and obvious. And YouTube has been working behind the scenes for demonetizing keywords and titles and stuff. So it's not like it's new, but the spotlight on it is very new right now. You have Wall Street Journal, which they've fallen so much now to where, because the traffic is so bad now for like mainstream media and stuff, they have to resort to really attacking where the influence is, which is YouTube. Believe it or not, YouTubers at this point have more pull than a lot of these mainstream news outlets. I mean, Wall Street Journal is definitely scared of YouTubers and their influence. You saw it with PewDiePie, where they pretty much got smacked around by PewDiePie and most of the internet because it was pretty obvious what they're doing. Now they're turning around and they're taking shots at YouTube, and if I were them, I'd be scared too, because it's looking more and more like things like newspaper outlets and stuff are starting to be phased out, and I would be scared too. You have places like cable TV cord being cut constantly. People are opting for what is essentially the free option. YouTube is free. As much as people hate ads, it's better to watch a video with a 30-second ad than watch a TV show, for example, like The Big Bang Theory, where there are 3 to 4 sets of commercials that last 3 minutes each. So you're watching what could be a 20-minute episode with like 8 minutes of commercials, but people still watch them. And now it's happening where it's being cut big time. A lot of people are forgetting about cable and watching YouTube, and it just shows that media does not like YouTube or free options that are online. So now the big question seems to be, what is happening? Is YouTube done? No, they're not. What's going to happen here, and I've been following YouTube for a long time. I haven't been on YouTube as a channel making this channel or content creator, but I've been following it for a long time. I mean, like a long time, since I was like in high school back in the like 2005, 2006. I'll kind of follow the different message boards where they talk about AdSense earnings. I've had websites that run AdSense, and this is not new. This particular reason is new, but AdSense and stuff fluctuates heavily, so it's not anything that hasn't happened before. It's just on another level. What's going to happen here is Google and YouTube are going to figure out a way to pull the $750 million that's estimated to be lost in this if they let it go. They're going to figure out a way to fix it and then pull the advertisers back in. And really, if you're a content creator, you should be excited, because this will actually benefit you in the long run. So they haven't been interested at all in fixing their problems. They haven't. Google and YouTube, really, they've just been kind of sitting back, fixing it as they go. You know, they work on it. It's a little project. It's like that car you leave in the garage, and you go back every now and then, you buy a couple parts, you work on it, you let it sit for a month, you go back, you work on it, you let it sit for a month. That's kind of what this whole thing has been for YouTube and Google to be doing. It's not pressing because they're not losing money on it. Well, now they're losing money on it. So to them, this is all hands on deck, and we have to fix this yesterday. Don't get me wrong, Google has some of the smartest people in the world working for them, and they will figure out a way to fix this problem and pull advertisers back in. And what I assume is going to happen is they're going to have a much more refined experience for advertisers in a way that they can pick out where they want the videos and their ads to be displayed on. I will say though, if you're a controversial video, you probably will have some issues. They do have that appeal system in, so if you get demonetized, you can appeal it. That's much easier for Google, because then if you are reaching out to them, it's easier than them having to screen every single video with a certain keyword in it. To me, the appeal process makes sense as long as it's streamlined, quick, easy, and any revenue that had come in up until the point of the appeal being followed, which could be 48 hours, which in the first 24 hours is when most videos get all of their views pretty much, and then it kind of tapers off big time. As long as they have a way for that revenue to be dispersed to that party, that's fine. So after the advertisers are happy, they'll be pulled back in. They should have a more streamlined way to pick where their videos go, or their ads go on which videos. And after that, they will be left with a much better set of tools, and they'll be more comfortable with YouTube as an advertising platform. In fact, they'll probably pull in more advertisers that will be willing to spend more money, because they know exactly where their ads are going to go. They'll know what target audience they have at that point, because I'm sure the tools will be even better, more advanced, and they may even get to the point where they have PR people talking to advertisers much more than they are now and just helping them along. And what will happen is eventually, I'm sure everything will be back to normal, and I'm sure the ads will actually be worth more at that point. And they'll probably figure out ways to get you, the viewer, more engaged. So maybe they will sell more 5-second videos where it's 5 seconds and then you're into it. Maybe they'll do more where the banners or on the side to keep out of the way of the video but still display it to you. And really, that's That's key. They need to make the viewers happy, they need to make the content creators happy, they need to make the advertisers happy. Unfortunately, all three parties are very rarely happy all at the same time. So if you're a content creator, you're trying to figure out what to do, there's not much you can do. You have to kind of ride it out, and that's just the way it is. You know what? Go back to doing YouTube and do it for what you love. Do it for fun, enjoy it. You know what? If you come out of the other end of April with any kind of net revenue at this point, consider that a win. I know it's gonna be hard on some people, but I do think after April and we get kind of into the May season, I think you will see YouTube and Google figuring it all out. I have to think at this point, April is a lost cause for anybody who does YouTube for money. In fact, we'll find out how many people actually do this just for the money and don't enjoy it, because they will probably dip out and stop doing YouTube for a couple weeks in April when they see these revenue reports come back. So enjoy it in April, spend some time trying to try new stuff, maybe build your brand a little bit outside of just doing it for money, and just have some fun. It might be difficult, you may have to tighten your belt a little bit in April, but I do think in May stuff will be figured out and you'll see it start to increase again, because this is definitely a top priority for YouTube and Google, and they want these advertisers back. And you know what? The advertisers want to advertise on YouTube because yes, it is the future of media. I mean, that's where everyone is. The age group on YouTube is so low when everyone's impressionable when you're younger, and then into the buying age group of somewhere in the, I'd say, 16 to 40 range. That is prime for YouTube, and people are going to flock to it and put ads on it, and it'll make everybody money. So why not? So don't worry if you're a viewer and you have a favorite YouTube channel, more than likely they will survive as long as they stick to it. If they give up, then obviously they won't, or they'll come back in 3 months when they find out the money is better. If you have a place that you enjoy watching that is a larger company that employs people, they might be in some trouble unless they've actually done the smart thing, save some money up. Hopefully they have, and they can survive this as well. I'm thinking of more like the higher end, the higher end YouTube channels, something like Game Grumps or Philip DeFranco, people that employ a lot of people. And really, as long as they can get through a month or two of low revenue, they'll be okay. So don't worry about it too much. Just make sure if anything changes to let YouTube and Google know. YouTube needs feedback. As much as they don't answer, they listen. So make sure they have your feedback, whether it's on Twitter or in the support line, anything. Just help them figure this out, and really it'll be better everywhere for everyone. Really, that's the key point, is to make YouTube a great platform to go, either express yourself or watch videos. And also, we really shouldn't let something like the Wall Street Journal or mainstream media really win, because it's just bad. Like, you shouldn't let companies like these place these major spotlights on issues that aren't good, but YouTube and them are working on it. And trust me, Wall Street Journal, I think they have their own issues. They seem to have ads on things that are just as controversial at times, especially articles. So don't let places like that tell you that something that YouTube is doing is different from what they're doing, because it's not. It's very similar. But yeah, that's it for now, guys. I just want to get my thoughts out there, express what I think is going to happen, which I think YouTube will end up rebounding and shaped back to normal, and probably better than ever. Really, it'll be stronger, and hopefully that means the channels that get more money will be able to then invest in their channel. You know, don't go buy like an R8 or something if you come into a bunch of money. Put it back into your craft, make your videos better, and enjoy it. I've done nothing but try my best to make these videos better as I go along. I've put money into all kinds of stuff for the show, and then I try to live well within my means just in case something like this happens. And you know what? If you're a content creator and you're learning it the hard way, you'll at least know for next time. Make your videos better, save money. That way you don't get stressed out if something like a bump in the road like this happens. But let me know what you guys think down below, and I will see you next time.